Alrighty, we're working on a Polaris Trail Boss 325. Doing a ton of work on this thing, replacing the starter relay, and then like the idler gear inside and all that stuff. Doing a lot of work. Change the bushing up here. See, there's a fresh bushing in there. Either way, this video is going to be just an oil change on these. They're pretty straightforward, but I figured I'd make a quick little video for you guys. So if you have any problems or any questions, just let me know. Let's jump into it. All right, so we're going to start this job off. Pretty easy job. You got the oil filter right here. You have to get that off, but you need to drain the oil first. And as you can see, right there is the drain plug, and that takes a 9/16 socket. You just loosen it up, drain it out. Make sure you got a drain pan underneath. What I like to use to get these, if they're on there tight, like this one's probably, it's even getting a little rust on there. Thing's probably been on there a while, but the nice thing is you can get one of these claws, and they rip these things off with no problem at all. Yeah, let me drain the oil out, and then we'll get this off, get the new filter on, fill it up. All right, so I did forget to mention, probably your first step is to fire the quad up, get it warmed up, and then you can drain the oil. For us, the quad is not ready to be run. It's not going to be running for a little while. We just want to get some fresh oil in it, get it checked off the list. Either way, you can do it cold. It's easier if it's warm, or you can want to burn your hands. It's nice that way too. Either way, we drain this thing out. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the video, but the oil was pitch black. This thing, I cleaned it up, but make sure that the ring, or the washer, I guess, not the ring, the washer is in good shape. If you need to replace it, you can get brass ones at like the auto store or something. Just get a new one if it's leaking a little bit. Put that on before you put it back on the quad. This one looks to be in decent shape. It wasn't really leaking, not from there at least. So we should be all right. We'll torque it back down. Torque spec, tight. Don't over tighten them. Just get it tight. Don't worry about it too much. Yeah. So make sure it's cleaned up, and we'll put it back on the quad. All right, we got the claw on the filter. It's kind of hard to do with one hand here, so bear with me. But loosened up pretty easy, actually. I was surprised. It's probably going to get on here, so it's going to make a big old mess. Called it. Make sure you got the pan underneath. Catch it. Unscrew it here. I would highly recommend running. Look how black that is. Man. Highly recommend. My gosh, I can't even talk. Another Polaris filter. It's upside down, but there's the number. Here we go. Look at that. I would recommend replacing it with a Polaris filter. We're kind of going the cheap route on this quad because it's kind of a beater quad. So we have another one. I'll give you the part number. Just remember when it's draining that you have the O-ring came off with it, which it did. Don't double O-ring it. All right, that's the part number for the new filter. It doesn't even have part number on the filter itself. It's kind of goofy. Either way, it looks like it should work. The size, I just took it against the other one, and it looks to be about exactly the same. So it should be good, but it's just a cheapo one. Make sure you put a little bit of oil in here, because if you're going in sideways like this, you'll probably, if you fill it, you're going to lose some of it. So just put a little bit in there, it'll be all right. And then put a little bit of oil on the ring, and we'll tighten it down hand tight. All right, I cleaned up a little bit around the outsides there. This thing is filthy, so also a reminder, clean it if you can before. Put a little oil in it and a little oil around the O-ring there, and we'll start torquing her down. Again, all you want is hand tight. You can get a little rag, help you get a little more friction on there. But that's about all you want. You don't need to use the claw. Tighten it back down. That's all you need. That's it. We're going to fill it up with some oil. He doesn't want to run the Polaris oil. Let me see what we got here. because this stuff is basically, the thing is liquid, or Polaris's oils are like liquid gold, like this, just this thing that we are actually going to put in it for the transmission. $20 for this 1 quart. But this is the oil I'd recommend putting in it if you can, PS4 oil. But he doesn't want that, so we're going to just put out some cheaper oil in it. But yeah, we'll fill it up. I'll get the exact specs on how much it takes, but just about done, guys. All right, so this is where the oil fill is, right here. So on the left side of the quad, all you need to do is fill that up with some fresh fluid. Again, I recommend the PS4, but this thing takes 2 quarts. So I'm going to fill it up, and afterwards I'd say run it and make sure it's looking good. Recheck the oil levels. Once it's right in the middle of your tiny little dipstick here, you'll be good. All right, guys, that's it. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. All right, guys, God bless.